Good afternoon, YouTube. This is Rick with Dick Allan. I put out a video about New Orleans and my adventure over there, real general. I've had several questions asked about tent cities, how to survive there, what tips or recommendations I have. With my military experience and as a civilian in the New Orleans tent city, I'll give you my take on tent cities. The first thing I would do in a tent city is it needs government. We set up, but I didn't know who ran it. I didn't know anything about it. It was just kind of a free-for-all madness. People come and go. You just take the slot that's open. I had guys in tents. I slept in the school bus. The guys are sleeping on asphalt. And I bought guys pads and sleeping bags. A lot of the guys didn't really like sleeping on the ground. These guys were, hard workers, and they like to drink beer at night. That was like the one thing they had to have at night was beer, and that probably helped them sleep and disregard the discomforts of the world, was drink themselves silly, and then they could sleep well. I personally don't drink, but I just had a pad and I slept in the bus. I remember the wind was blowing pretty good the first couple nights we were there, 20, 30 miles an hour. Tents wear out quick, windy conditions. You need a form of government. You got to have somebody in charge or a set of rules, and I have everybody sign a contract. These are the rules. You have your team leaders or whatever you need to help enforce those rules. And if it doesn't get worked out, it needs to go to a mediator that can say, you got to go, you need to move over here, you're wrong, whatever it is. You need a plan of action for certain people that just can't get along. People are not going to get along. We're not used to living that close together with people snoring, no privacy. All those comforts we take for granted now are going to be gone. Now, having served in the military, I know what it's like to lose your privacy. You get to the point where nothing matters. You do a lot of things that are uncomfortable. Your privacy is disregarded and made fun of. You're going to have a learning curve there. Sanitation. Fema had these truck trailers there. I don't remember if they were 20-foot or 40-foot trailers, but they had showers in one and bathrooms in the other. They're pretty nasty. Whatever the government provides you is going to get beat up on. I noticed in the military, in Kuwait, we had these 40-foot trailers with showers and bathrooms, and they'd been there for years, and people came and cleaned them twice a day, 3 times a day, and you're polishing a turd. People are nasty, and they're not going to clean up after themselves. They're going to take a shower and leave. You know how tough it is to clean up your bathroom once a week or daily or however you do it, once a month, with 2, 4 people using it. When hundreds of people are using it, things are going to happen. People are going to do things that will blow your mind. People will poop in the shower and leave it there, and then dry off and run away. And you'll be like, what in the world? Why in your right mind would you do that? But people will do that type of thing. There's no water to flush the toilets. They will keep pooping in them and top the thing off. And then some poor soul's going to have to clean it out. And now these are the FEMA trailers. And in Kuwait, we had similar things. In Iraq, we set up these, it was an 8x8 shipping container, and it folded out, so it ended up being close to 20 feet. It had bathrooms on one side, showers on the other, whatever. And again, within 2-3 days of those things operating, things were breaking, things were clogging, constant maintenance. They have pumps that run them. If we didn't have water, we'd shower every 3 days. Stuff gets clogged. You're constantly working. And then people waste a lot of toilet paper. They line the seats with toilet paper because they don't want to sit on somebody else's nastiness. The toilet paper doesn't last long in these situations because everybody's like concerned about hygiene, but all that toilet paper clogs the toilet. So there's going to be issues that arise. We also had basically a wooden lean-to with 2 toilets in there, and it was just a 55-gallon drum that was cut in half, and we sat on a hole. We filled that up. Every day we burned it, JP8 or diesel. Poor soul that had to stir that up. We all knew it because he smelled kind of like burnt poop. Fortunately, I never had to do that duty. I was too cool to do that. That method works. Once or twice a day, you burn it. There's really no pipes, nothing functioning, and it goes. The problem with that is, long term, are you going to have gasoline, diesel, JP8 to burn it? So the military has access to keep bringing this stuff in. People that don't have access to those things, you're going to have to figure out a way to dispose of it. If it was me, I would dig the deepest hole I could possibly find and set it up as close to a septic system as possible, or find a septic system, run that puppy crazy. Something that has a natural cycle and can handle that. But even like tying into some guy's house or a small septic system, man, in 3 months, that sucker's going to be full on overload. Sanitation with feces and that is going to be something that is going to be a long-term, constant problem, constant work with a lot of people. Man, that stuff piles up quick. 30 guys are filling up, half a 55-gallon drum. Keep that in mind. 30 people, 50 people. It's a lot of poop and toilet paper and pee and all that stuff. Now, one thing we did do with the pee, we had like 6-inch PVC pipe that we ran 6 feet deep or so, 4 feet deep into gravel, whatever, and then the pipe would come up, and the boys can just walk up and just pee down the pipe and let it get into the ground, rather than just pee on top of the ground. So we had places that we can go. Half the time we had gear on and we still had trouble hitting the pipe. Into convenience. So even if you tell them don't pee in the pooper, they're going to pee in the pooper because they're there, and sometimes you do both at the same time. I don't have a total solution for it besides digging the deepest hole possible, getting some microbes. I don't know. Let Mother Nature do its thing. It's going to stink no matter what. If you got to live by the thing, you're going to smell it and have to suffer. The big septic trunk, you need one of those. You need a big hole, and you might be okay. I don't know. Human waste is one of those things. I know some people want to sprinkle lime and do all that stuff. I'm sure there's sawdust. I'm sure there's some cool methods. In a tent city, unless you got power tools running, not a lot of sawdust to come by. Lime, again, it all depends on what you have available as your resources. How many bags of lime are you going to need? I mean, if you're filling up a 55-gallon drum of poop a week, I mean, how many bags of lime are you going to need? So no matter what, you're probably not going to have what you need to do a perfect job. And maybe someone's got the answer out there. You dig a hole 10 feet down, 6 feet down, you fill it up for the week, and then you move on to the net. You just keep moving it, fill it up, move it, and you have your sanitation field, and everybody's got a hike to it. You need some infrastructure in. You need someone to go through and pipe it, whatever. You're going to need some tools. If it's pre-done, great. If you have a place that has it pre-done. If you don't, I mean, having an excavator, a backhoe, something to just go in there and wreak havoc is going to be hard work, and just being aware. Water's going to be limited. A lot of soldiers, we lived on baby wipes. If we were showering once a week, we just baby wiped up once a day, and we went to the bathroom, we'd baby wipe it there because that keeps the important areas clean. If you don't have baby wipes, or when those run out, you're going to go to, washcloth. It just depends on what resources are available in your area. From my experience, that stuff's not built to last like the one in your house. The one in your house, you can go a year, years before you have problems with the parts and whatnot. So something to be aware of. In the last video, I said I had a guy get stabbed, and then they just kicked everybody out of the tent city. And at that point, we were pretty much wanderers. I was there a week. I flew back to California, and a lot of my guys, some people were offering more money, and guys were running off elsewhere. Because some guys ran off elsewhere, didn't get paid, tried to come back, and I was like, bye. But there is some chaos, and people are desperate. People are out for themselves. They're looking for a good deal. Of the 13 guys I had out there, most of them had moved on. I think there were 3 guys in the end that were there when I got back. It was rough. You're basically homeless. The guys found a place they could camp. I believe it had a bathroom, but no shower. When crisis hits, it's rough. Having stores not work and not open, and I think there was a Walmart like half hour, 45 minutes away that we can go to, load up on stuff. But I mean, you can't just run there every day. And like I said, when I got there were a couple restaurants open. It was nice to go out to eat a couple times, grab food for the guys, whatever. And we lived off the Red Cross, just some random supplies that we had. They're going to be bossy, needy. Everyone's desperate because they're lacking the basic necessities of life. Or your shelter probably be lacking. Your sleep is probably going to be lacking. You're going to wake up and be stiff. Even while I was deployed, the guys in a bay, we're all just living together. We try to create as much privacy as we can, but we're all right there. Somebody's going to be mouthing off and say the wrong thing, or they're having a bad day and they're going to ruffle your feathers. Everybody's going to stink. And there's always the one guy who doesn't wash himself at all. Even in the tent city, and because people are going to have privacy issues, there's going to be some people that aren't going to go to the bathroom, and they're going to have tummy problems going to the bathroom away from their house. So they're going to have like, oh, my tummy hurts, or I haven't pooped in a week. And you're going to have people that, I can't, you know, scrub myself down in front of my family or these guys because they have their privacy issues, and they're going to stink and they're going to smell. Setting up a designated place for that might work. Maybe it needs to be for individual, might work. But what I'm saying is those places are going to be nasty and need some type of cleaning schedule a couple times a day, or even a poop guard to, you know, to check it after everyone goes and be like, you messed up, you clean it, you know, you violated the system, because we don't want to clean up after your mess. And it sounds crazy, but while I was in China and we had to squat in trenches and go to the bathroom, you know, you had to pay the guy a nickel. He could push everybody's stuff down the tile trench, maintain the cleanliness there so things didn't pile up. You know, I've seen a lot of interesting things. I wish I had the answer. I wish it'd be like, it's this simple. Stop eating, no more poop. It's that simple. And maybe if we eat more efficiently and exercise more, eat less, maybe that's the answer. We'll poop less. Hopefully that answers some of your questions about living in a tent city, my perspective. I hate to say martial law, but it does need some rules because not everybody's going to be nice. Be safe out there. Good luck. It's kind of a depressing topic, talking about living the hard life, but rules, sanitation, and water. Did we talk about water? You need water. Water's like the biggest thing you need, and if it wasn't for the Red Cross, I mean, we're getting cans of water from Anheuser-Busch. They just put water in a can. Tasted like aluminum, but like sometimes that was all we had to drink. You got to have water. Take care. Be safe. Hopefully you don't have to live in a tent city, but if you do, I don't know, be patient. It's going to be rough. All right, Dick Allan signing out.